I've turned into a complete light snob.
Yeah. I like being a light snob, though.
I like it, except for when the light sucks.
Which is most of the time.
Which is all summer.
Me and Mike were talking about this yesterday, and we both agreed that round about 2013 to 2014, maybe even up to 2015, I don't know about you, but I went through a period, and he went through a period, where I went to places like Banff National Park regularly, and every time I went, I got epic light, and I thought, it's like this all the time. I'm going to move here. And I moved there, and it was as if someone flicked a switch.
The reality switch.
Yeah, all filters off, no plugins, nothing. Absolute crap light. Since then, and I haven't seen good light, maybe once or twice, but in years. And it feels like there was a Goldilocks period where I had epic light a lot. Like I was charmed, like I was, I had the look of the Irish.
Yeah.
And what's happened to that? What about you?
I don't know if I've ever been lucky. Well, I feel like there's some luck involved for sure. But I think, when you're a full-time YouTuber or a full-time photographer or a full-time person like me, like I feel pressured to try to make good photography year-round. But there are just some seasons where you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like there's no good photo in Eastern Washington in the summertime. There's just not. Unless a storm rolls through and it's a total fluke thing. And, back when I wasn't a full-time photographer, I didn't have that same pressure because it was just my weekend thing that I did for fun. But now I feel pressured. I got to be producing awesome stuff all the time, even when the conditions don't lend itself that well.
And it's worse when you're a vlogger because
you have to film your mistakes.
film your failures. Yeah.
Exactly. There's nothing worse than today. I'm going to be filming myself all day long failing. And it's such a vulnerable position to put yourself in, but people enjoy that content and they get a lot out
real.
of it.
They can identify with that regular failure because most people get the same as us. We're no different, so they can identify with the misery of that.
But I don't like creating that content because it means I failed. Turns out I don't like failing.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. Like, we just have to keep going and hope that we get good light. We're like the most pessimistic optimists possible. But, I am actually quite a pessimistic person, but I keep trying. I keep going. I keep going. I think I have low expectations, but high hopes.
Well, and that's the thing is I think a lot of people that have more time to dedicate towards it, they kind of create their own luck because they know that if they pay attention to weather conditions and they go enough times, eventually they're going to get lucky, and the odds of them getting lucky go up the more times that you go to a location. The harder you try, the more often you try. It's just odds. Eventually you're going to get it.
But here's what happens is you can do all that research and all that planning and build up kind of almost like a skill set of prediction, right? And you think you've got it down, you think you've got it figured out. And then you do that one visit to Moraine Lake where everything points to complete disaster. Don't even bother.
Yep.
But for whatever bizarre reason, you went. You got there, nobody else was there either because they were looking at the same data. You get there, epicness unfolds before your very eyes. And it's like, oh man, all that planning, why did I bother?
Yep. And there's that one guy that's like, oh, this is my first time ever here. This is what it looks like all the time.
Yeah. There's
always that one guy. I hate that one guy.
It just so happens that that's always the best photographers in the world as well. So it's weird that, isn't it?
So we're going to have some Mountain House mac and cheese.
Oh, that's the mac and cheese. Right, so that's the mac and cheese. I know for a fact, as a landscape photographer, always hiking up mountains, you have to eat this kind of food. Freeze-dried awfulness. And it's just a case of which is the least awful.
I will say that some are pretty good.
Some are good. I mean, Mountain House as a brand, and we're not getting paid yet. Hopefully, I hope you're seeing this, Mountain House. But you might not like what I'm going to say. This mac and cheese is actually really good. But the vegetable lasagna is inedible tripe. I haven't tried this chili macaroni with beef, so it doesn't smell too exciting. But I am excited about the mac and cheese, so that gets 5 stars. We haven't tried this yet. Judgment pending.
And they're being judged on their own scale, right? 5 stars, you know, in freeze-dried food terms is much different than 5 stars at like a real restaurant.
Because you have to bear in mind, if you've just burned 4,000 calories hiking up a mountain,
you're not picky.
Basically, bear poo tastes good after that. So it's all relative, right? But we'll see. But these are like, how much are these in Oregon? These are like $15 in Canada.
They're not that much, I don't think. They're
Really?
like 10 US, maybe?
10 US, so that's about 10 million Canadian.
It would be much cheaper to just buy a box of like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
It really would.
Be heavier though.
Would it? I'm not sure if it
I don't
would.
know, maybe it wouldn't. You could always put it like in a Ziploc bag. But then the nice part of these is you just pour the water right in, and it, you know, and then you're creating less waste, and you don't have to wash a dish.
Yeah, part of what you're paying for here is the engineering of this plastic bag. This boil in the bag process, and then you empty it and pack it down and take it out with you.
Because I oftentimes will take like oatmeal packets and just take the packets, and then I never make them because I'm like, oh, I have to pour it in a bowl or something, and then I have to wash that bowl. And yeah.
I once found a really delicious, I think they were like Japanese noodles, it was called. It said on the bag, super spicy, really delicious, and they were like $5 for a bag. Loads of calories, really good if you're doing like a through hike. And I tested them out, and it was so tasty, it was so good. I thought, oh, brilliant, I've sorted this out for my next trip. This is what I'll eat until the next day. The next day, not what you think. The next day, the smell of these spicy noodles actually came out of my skin. And I'm not just talking like pits, I'm talking my entire body was leaking.
You're like sweating MSG.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like sweating MSG, and I thought, could I stand myself, and could B, my hiking buddy Brent, could he stand sharing a tent with me? The answer was no. So I didn't buy any more, but they were delicious.
Wow.
Oh man, this steak is good. Thank you.
No problem.
If they don't show up, do we get to eat their steak?
Absolutely. Absolutely we do.
Well, it's precisely 4 hours after we finished shooting the Milky Way, and I do have a face like a bag of smashed crabs. And I was nicely woken up by the garbage truck, kindly removing all the garbage. So I'm up, but it looks like, I'm hoping anyway, that Nicholas Page is ready to be making coffee.
Are you complaining again?
No, I'm saying you're going to make coffee, aren't you?
I only have like that much water.
I've got loads. I shall get up and help Nicholas make coffee.
What can I get you, sir?
Can I have a very strong, very black coffee, please?
You want venti? A venti strong coffee coming up.
I don't suppose you've got cream or milk. Oh, look at that! This is the level of service that you can come to expect in a camping trip with Nick.
Page Enterprises. If this photography thing doesn't work out, I'm going to become a barista.
Yeah, a mobile barista.
Backwoods barista.
Well, this is pretty sweet, actually, at this campsite. I've got my coffee, got my Starbucks. Was it Starbucks?
No.
It's probably better than
It's
Starbucks.
actually Kauai coffee.
Yeah.
So this is island coffee right here.
Right, better than Starbucks. Checking my emails at the campsite. Bullshitting with Nick Page. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Michelle Schoenblum's in the...
Michel Chamblon.
Schoenblum?
Chamblon.
He's over there sleeping somewhere.
Oh, he won't be getting out of bed till at least noon. He sleeps late.
No.
And he checks out late every time. But this is looking a bit empty, Nick. Just wondering if there's do we get free refills on this coffee?
There's no free refills, and backwoods baristas don't do refills.
Oh.
I'm actually gonna have to. You haven't paid me for that yet.
Oh, look at that little squirrel thing.
So do you guys know what you're gonna do today?
We have no clue. I mean, the whole reason why we're down here is to shoot the Milky Way and finish this online photography course, but ever since you said that storm clouds might come in.
Yeah, so that we have thunder, from what I've seen anyways, there's gonna be lightning is predicted for the next 4 days straight, which is not uncommon, and especially here in Central Oregon. But the hard part, like that I've found with chasing lightning in this area, is that first of all, you lose service as soon as you get away from Bend. Like, you have no cell service, so you can't track it, and then there's not always a road going where you want it to go. But I've always wanted to get like really, epic storm clouds over some of these really recognizable. So, because this part of Oregon, you have things like Smith Rock, you have all these volcanoes, you got Painted Hills.
Yeah, you want it over something impressive,
exactly.
Not just some random field.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing that Oregon has over places like where people storm chase, like the Midwest, where we have like very, very dramatic peaks and land features. And if you can get some of those, like Michael, again, he's got epic lightning shots of like lightning over the Golden Gate Bridge or lightning striking a mountaintop. Those are the kind of things that are inspiring, rather than...
Are you telling me that's not Photoshop?
I don't think it's Photoshop.
Bastard.
Well, you can never tell with Michael. When people reach a certain level in Photoshop, they can't be trusted anymore. Right?
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, yeah.
The better a person, like, I trust everything that like, people that edit in Lightroom, I trust everything they post.
Yeah, because they don't know how to use Photoshop.
But us Photoshop users, we're not to be trusted.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that shit.
Yeah.
I know what we should talk about. As a landscape photographer, a travelling landscape photographer, you know what my biggest challenge is staying healthy and not getting fat. Seriously.
You're gonna talk to me about this?
I think
obviously I do a great job.
We can both identify, and I wonder if some of our viewers struggle with the same thing, because I'm just not that body type where I can eat whatever I want and I'm thin as a rail. I'm always fighting.
You actually eat pretty good most of the time. I've seen you eat pretty shitty too.
Oh yeah, when I travel I'm bad, but when I'm at home I eat healthy, right?
Right.
But the problem is, and it's already begun on this trip, when you're like pressed for time
and you're passing through and you have your choice between stopping at a grocery store and buying an apple, or I could just hit that drive-through and grab a burger.
Yeah.
That's where I fail too.
And usually you'll go like long stretches of time where you're just chasing the light or conditions. Mm-hmm. So you plan badly, and then by the time you even think about, I need to eat, that's what you do. You grab something that's instant and satisfying, and I don't plan properly what I should eat. I think some bright spark genius should put together either an ebook or a video tutorial, something that I can take on the road, how to eat on the road for landscape photographers. I'm
guaranteed that people will be commenting under this saying like you need to do meal prep, where you just before you even leave, just fill a cooler up with a bunch of healthy stuff.
But
where's the fun in that?
It's easy to say that though.
Yep.
I barely have enough time to prep my photography, let alone my meals. So give me a list. I want a list of delicious or at least slightly tasty options. Here's what you should buy this day. Day 2, buy this. Like, give me a meal plan of healthy, easy to grab food that doesn't make me want to kill myself.
I think the main difference between people like us and people that eat healthy are that people that eat healthy, they're either A, not pressed for time and not lazy when they meal prep, so they're willing to spend the time to put together a healthy meal, or B, they don't care about flavor and they're just like, you know what, I only care about sustenance, and they just, you know, they're not eating for flavor and taste, they're just putting together something healthy. And the problem with me is that I want something that tastes good.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when you're on a trip like this, you're hiking, you get really hungry and famished, and then you're driving through, and what's easy is never what's healthy.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, I deserve this Burger King Whopper. I went hiking. I hiked 2 miles today. And then you have like through hikers that are like living on rice or like, you know, just nothing.
Juniper berries
and pine needles, and you know, that's the difference.
Plus, if we could figure out a way to travel, do landscape photography, and lose weight from our food, it would then allow us to drink more beer.
Yeah, there you go. If we actually did this landscape photography thing where we're traveling and hiking a lot and spending a lot of time being active and ate healthy at the same time, we would be different.
Yeah, but you'd need to burn 3,000 calories a day to combat the type of shit that we eat when we're on the road.
Yeah, and yeah, there's no mountain high enough. Ain't no mountain high enough for to lose weight eating the way that I do sometimes. But then it's like a catch-22, because anytime I go out, like let's say we're hanging out with Thomas, he out-eats us every time.
Yeah.
Because he's got a thing called a metabolism. And I hear those are nice, but
plus,
I wouldn't know.
He's a young whippersnapper, kind of like Michael here. These young lads, you know, they haven't...
You talk like you're so much older than everybody.
I'm 46. How old are you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh. You can't be as old as Uncle Grumpy, though.
No, I'm 39. But he looks younger than I do. How's that?
You're not really 39.
I really am 39.
Are you?
Yeah. Don't let the belly and the don't let the pot belly and the gray beard fool you. I'm actually 39.
I thought last time we were together you said you were 41.
Yeah, but I've gotten younger.
Oh, all right.
No, I really am 39.
All right. Fucking hell, just had a hard paper round.
Yeah.
You don't know what that means, do you? Paper round.
No.
And it's usually the first job you get when you're a teenager. You have a really hard paper round delivering newspapers. But these days, I guess the equivalent would be working at Dairy Queen. So if you are a nutritionist or a...
We should start a support group.
Yeah.
Yeah. The overweight landscape photographers, because we are literally a dying breed.
I think the term fat photographers is a bit more... It rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, but we could spell it P-H-A-T.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so if you are an expert in this kind of thing, if you could help us out, post many, many comments, maybe even promote your own ebook if we get like a percentage.
How cool would it be for all parties involved to team up with somebody that's got like a health YouTube channel and do like some kind of 90-day challenge?
Yeah.
Like get some other portly YouTubers. Sturdy. Okay. Get some other sturdy YouTubers and we'll have like a weight loss challenge.
Yeah.
I would dominate that because I've got more to lose.
Oh yeah, you bugger, yeah. That's not fair then, is it really?
No, I think it's totally fair.
Unless I get fat in advance. Like I just get really big.
Yeah. Just all the salt and just like take on a bunch of water weight. Typically, landscape photography and being overweight, like for example, when I go to REI to go buy clothes, they never have them in my size because it's pretty much an oxymoron to have an overweight hiker.
Yeah.
And so we really are kind of we're a small community of people that need support. We should start a support group for overweight landscape photographers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then what happens if you lose weight? Do you get kicked out of the group? If you become shredded. Sorry, you're out.
Exactly. And we could go on photo walks. They'll be like really sweaty.
Long ones.
Really sweaty photo
marathons.
Where we go around the block, take a break.
Yeah. few people disappear and into the burger joint, come back out with ketchup all over their faces.
Johnny, you fell off the wagon.
Yeah, it's something I need. I need this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting warm now.
It totally is.
It's got toasty.
But you know, like for me, if I was to lose a bunch of weight, it would totally revolutionize photography for me, because it would open up, it would unlock locations that I'm currently too lazy or don't have the hiking ability to go to, you know?
Well, it does, and I've actually embraced this recently. I've started saying, well, it, I'm just going to go do those brutal hikes that fit people can do, knowing full well how badly I'll suffer just to get the shots. And I'll tell you now, I suffer so bad.
I remember Scotland.
Yeah. Oh, I've done some worse stuff than that since
Right.
then. And I every time I hike up that mountain, I'm like, I regret my life choices.
Yeah.
I'm turning over a new leaf.
And then you get to the bottom and like you're starting to recover and you're like, maybe that's the start of something beautiful for me. Like maybe that's the start of me getting active and getting healthy. And then you start to drive, and then that McDonald's drives by, and then you eat like junk, and then you feel so bad.
Yeah. Well, the other part of the problem is this trip that I've been doing with Mike. I've been driving a minimum of 6 hours a day, sometimes 10. So when you've done 10 hours in a car, usually eating garbage, the last thing you want to do when you get to your hotel is, I'm just going to go for a run. Like, some people have that motivation, they can do that. I am beat. I'm done. I can't be bothered to go out and go for a run.
For me, like hiking is probably my favorite source of physical activity, because you're in a beautiful place. You're going somewhere that you're excited to be. Like, you know, it doesn't feel like exercise. It just feels like I'm doing something that I love.
And there's a result at the end of it.
Yeah.
There's a goal.
And another problem is that like even when you're a full-time person, you only spend a small window of your time actually getting to do this, you know, where we're out. The rest of our time is spent in front of a computer, answering emails, doing that stuff.
Sitting again. Sitting's supposed to be the worst thing for you, like sitting at a computer, sitting in your car. The actual time spent doing this up a mountain is a very small percentage.
Yeah. Even for people like Thomas, you know?
Yeah.
Thomas, he hikes a lot. He's very active, but he just still doesn't do it as much as you would think he gets to do it, because there's all of that other business stuff that you have to do.
And imagine this as well, like if we got like super shredded, waif-like almost, like Thomas. Do you remember when we were in Mull and we did that hike that almost killed us both? Mm-hmm. He didn't even drink a single bottle of water. In fact, I drank his water.
Like the amount of water it takes to keep this hydrated.
Yeah, this is like a pool.
Yeah.
And Adam's the same. Like we'll go out hiking. I'll be like, "Have you brought enough water?" "Oh, I don't need that." I'll be like, "Are you sure?" "Nah, I don't need it." And he doesn't.
And what cracks me up is like we sit here and we agonize over like, you know, titanium spoons to save every ounce of weight that we can, yet I could miss lunch and lose more weight than the spoon weighs.
Yeah.
Like I could, you know, go on a diet for a week and be able to pack any set of lenses I want because I've lost 10 pounds and and here we are agonizing over ounces in our backpack.
What if somebody invented a mobile liposuction service? We could like rock up, plug in.
Yeah, and you just have a port, right? Yeah. You just have like a series of ports.
A lard port. Just plug into your lard port. Oh, I just lost 5 pounds. Let's go.
Exactly. Go make my daily donation. What would they do? What do they do with the lard from those?
Well, you've seen Fight Club. They make soap.
Lamp oil.
Yeah. Lube.
Yeah. Now you know.